Good morning. It is Saturday, July 1st, 2017. I am in Renton, Washington. Going to be one of my last vlogs from this location. I'm probably moving in a couple weeks. Just still in the same area, but going to have a new location, so a new little background. Try to keep my guys with me and try to keep them comfortable. So, it is July 1st. Half of the year is gone. 6 months is gone. 2017 started, not the first week or two, but very shortly after that, I hit my all-time high for weight was 330 pounds. Been fighting between 290 and 310 forever. Then I got back up to 315 at the very beginning of this year. And at that point, I decided this year I'm doing everything I can to try to get down to some manageable number so that I can slowly lose over time and eventually someday hit 199. So this is that year. Half of that year is gone. What can I say? There's been what you would expect. There's been the good times, the bad times, the successes, the failures. And it's a lot to think back on. It's a lot to think about. Gives me hope for the next 6 months because only half is done. You could be half glass empty or half glass full. But only half is done. I have half more to go. I could do so many things so much better, and there's always regret. There's always things you can do better. That's not necessarily what I'm talking about. Just even tiny little tweaks that I can do that would make my decision making every day better, make my regrets at the end of the night less. Getting my new place might help. I share a kitchen in the place where I live right now, so I'm a little hesitant to cook here and there, and when I don't have the motivation, it gives me an excuse. When I do have the motivation, sometimes I just don't do it even with the motivation because it's not as comfortable as having my own place. So that's going to be a big change, is to have meals cooked. When I cook meals, I bring them and I eat them, and I eat better. I really do. So this last week, to make this little push towards the year being halfway over, I decided to put everything that had calories in it, food or drink, anything that has calories, I put a picture of it and I put it up on my Facebook at the end of the night. And wow, did that make a decision, or did that make a change? Wow, did that make a change in the decisions I made. I would have had so many more little packets of M&Ms at work. I would have had so many more Mountain Dews while I was driving around. I would have had a lot worse food if I did not have to show the world what I was eating every day. Don't know what that says about me or human beings in general, but just that's the whole point of this, is just the accountability changes what you do. There's no way around it, for me anyways. So I'm happy I did that. So out of the last week, my goal was the usual. Cut out any sugary beverages, pretty much water, Propel, unsweetened iced tea, which I've started drinking now, and some white milk here and there, which I've only had a couple this week. So that was my goal. There's no sodas and nothing chocolate, nothing with sugar added to it. So I went 3 days completely doing that. Day 4, I had one brownie. Day 4 was my off day, as in the day off of work, where I sit down, watch a couple things that I'm used to watching. It's one of the days where I usually have a lot of comfort food. I just have planned where, I'm just going to sit down, it's going to be this 2 hours, I'm going to have this food, and man, that is going to be the hardest habit to break if I ever break it. But I had one brownie. That's the entirety of the bad food I had while I did that this week. So that was a success. The next day, I had made a run to Starbucks for my girlfriend, and I know I love their lemon pound cake, and I got it not even thinking. And when I got it back to her house, got it out, I'm like, oh, there's a layer of icing on top of that, which I did not even think about. I ate it anyways. But those are the only 2 things the whole week that I had with sugar added to them, and it was a struggle this week. Sometimes you get 2 or 3 days in and you get going and it's not a struggle. You barely have to think about it. You have that urge, you're like, nah, I'm cool. I had to fight it off every day this week, especially last night. Last night at work, had a 12-hour shift and just thinking, I had a good week. I had a good week of eating. I had a really good week of exercising again. I can have this, I can have that. I had to fight it off. It was hard. But I did. I did fight it off. I have up on Facebook everything I had to eat. Of course, now that I don't, I'm going to have so much sugar today. No, I'm not. I'll probably have something today. I'm going to be honest, but no, I'm not going to fall completely off the wagon. So, half the year is done. I'm happy with my progress. We're going to get on the scale. We're going to be near 20-ish pounds, a little less loss for the year, which means almost 40 is possible by the end of the year, just by having the exact same second half as I had the first half. In a 40-pound year, you cannot say is a bad thing. I honestly wanted a 60-pound year. 50-pound year is completely doable. Now we're going back to 40. By the end of the year, it's going to be 30. It's hard to be happy for the successes when you know how much farther along you could be. But I'm doing better than I was. I'm making better decisions. I'm keeping on doing this even though no one's making me, barely anyone's asking me. I'm only doing this because I want to improve. So I have to be happy for my successes. Half the year is gone. I have half to go, a lot of summer to go, a lot more fun things that are going to happen, a lot more places to visit, a lot more time to spend with people I love. And, well, that's kind of the whole point of this, really. The whole point of this is to get my body to a point where I can be here and be living a good life longer with the people that I love. That's it. I want to feel better about myself, and I want to be more attractive to the opposite sex and the world in general. But the reason I'm doing this is to be comfortable in moving around people and to be with people I love longer. So I'm going to keep that in mind, going to keep trying, going to keep pushing, and we're just going to weigh in right now. Going to weigh in and call it a day, and then get to work for a nice short 8-hour day. And we're gonna sing the Walking to the Scale song. I'm walking to the scale. This is my song when I walk to the scale. Alright, we're gonna let you look outside. Hopefully you're not staring at the ground right now, but you can see the beautiful backyard right where I'm staying. Alright, first one is done. And waiting for it to clear out, and then I'm gonna do the second one, and that is my real weight. And if I do it 1,000 times after this, it still stays the same weight. For some reason, it just has that weird thing in the beginning. Alrighty, that is lower than I thought. We have 295.2. So last week I was at exactly 300. 300, and I knew that was a tiny bit high, maybe a little extra water in there or bad time of day. So I know it was a tiny bit high, but that is a pretty tremendous drop. It's been 36 hours since I exercised, so midnight Thursday, I just did the elliptical for 30 minutes. So if I had done it last night at midnight, like 12 hours ago, I could see me being a little bit dehydrated, and that might be a fake number, but it's not. Right now I'm somewhere between 295 and 296. We're going to call it 20 pounds for the year. 6 months is done. I have lost 20 pounds. I can lose 20 pounds in the next 6 months without, I'm not going to say without trying, there will be effort, but I can do it without killing myself for sure, with being comfortable, with doing the right things, with exercising in ways that I enjoy. I can lose another 20 pounds. In 2017, I could lose 40 pounds easily. I could lose more than that too. Trying to hit goals that I know I can hit. 40 pounds for the year. Where would that leave me? That'd be 15 and then 25. I'd be 275. I don't talk about this much. So about 270. My weight has gone up and down a lot the last 10 years or so. A little more than that too. About 270 is when I consider myself actually start to look almost human. About 240, I might actually be considered attractive to some sects of society. So 270 is actually a big number. 270 is the lowest I've got since I gained all the weight. 272, I think, is the lowest I've gotten. So now that these numbers are in my head, 270. 270 is at the end of the year or better. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I'm going to go get. So I love you all. I do, a lot. Be good to yourself. Work your ass off. Because I'm going to go do that today. Bye-bye.